When trust is broken, most people think the question is, can I trust them again? But the deeper question is, can I trust myself again? Welcome back, uplifting life partners, to the Simplified Uplifters Marriage Mastery Podcast. This is our Self-Love Wednesday segment where we focus on giving you practical tools to build, repair, and strengthen the foundation of your relationship. Our goal, to help you create a marriage that feels stronger, more joyful, and more resilient. I'm your host, Ron Simplified Myers, and together, let's ignite possibilities for your marriage. Today, we're talking about one of the hardest but most transformative topics in relationships: rebuilding trust after betrayal. Betrayal isn't always infidelity. It can be broken promises, secrecy, lies, financial dishonesty, or emotional neglect. And healing always begins with the self. So let's be clear. Betrayal isn't just about the act itself. It's about what it communicates to our nervous system. At its core, betrayal says, you are not safe here. When someone you love or trust hides, lies, or acts in a way that goes against the bond you thought you shared, your brain and body register danger. It's not only an intellectual disappointment, it's a primal threat to security. What makes betrayal even more painful is that our first instinct is often to turn on ourselves. Why didn't I see this coming? What's wrong with me that they would do this? Am I not enough? Instead of pointing the responsibility toward the betrayer's choices, our inner critic starts telling stories about our worth, our judgment, and our ability to love. That's why betrayal feels like a double wound. One from the person who hurt us, and another from ourselves when we internalize the blame. Take Simone and Caleb. Caleb had been struggling financially, but didn't want to admit it. Instead of being upfront, he hid credit card debt and loans, hoping he could fix it on his own. When Simone discovered the truth, she didn't just feel blindsided by the money. She felt the ground beneath her crumbling. If he could hide this, what else could he hide? How can I feel safe if the person I lean on isn't transparent? But the deepest cut came from within. Simone's inner critic whispered, I should have known. I should have seen the signs. How could I have been so blind? This shows how betrayal often shifts from the partner's action to an internal story of self-doubt. Here's the truth. Healing begins when you recognize that betrayal is about their choices, not your worth. The debt wasn't Simone's fault. The secrecy wasn't her failure. The responsibility belonged to Caleb, and that distinction is what allows self-love to step in. Here's a reflection question. When trust was broken in your past, what story did you start telling yourself about you? Did the story you create in your head lean towards self-worth rather than the other person's choices? Let's use an example. Step 1, name the old story. Take a moment and think of a story where betrayal took place. What story did your mind create? Maybe it was, I'm not enough, or I should have known better, or I can't trust anyone again. Step 2, separate yourself from the action. Remind yourself that betrayal was the result of their choices, their hiding, their dishonesty, their fear. That is theirs to carry. Your worth has never been on trial. Their actions speak about them, not about you. Step 3, reframe with self-love. Now replace the old story with a truth that protects your heart. Try one of these or create your own. Their choice reflects them, not me. I'm still worthy of love and safety. I can trust myself, even if others fail me. Say your reframe out loud or silently in your mind. Let it be a shield for your spirit. Step 4, anchor it. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine that new story anchoring into your chest, right where your heart beats. That's self-love. That's where healing begins. Let's walk out this thought process, this inner dialogue. Simone has just discovered Caleb's hidden financial stress. After the initial hurt, she sits with her thoughts and begins to practice the reframe. Instead of staying stuck in, I should have known better, she chooses to voice her worth. Immediately, Simone's inner critic says, I can't believe I missed this. I should have seen the signs. How could I have been so blind? Instead of continuing down that unhealthy path of taking on someone else's choices, she breathes slowly and remembers the reframe exercise. Simone says with her self-love voice, wait, this isn't about me not being enough or being blind. Caleb made a choice not to share. That's on him. My worth doesn't change because of what he chose. So later, when talking to Caleb, Simone enters the conversation calm but firm. Caleb, hiding this hurt me deeply. It shook my sense of safety. My first reaction was to blame myself, like I should have known. But I've realized your choice to hide this is about your fear, not my value as your partner. I need honesty moving forward if I'm going to feel safe with you again. Caleb, knowing her words are about building trust and creating a stronger bond, he responds, you're right. I was scared you'd see me as a failure, but I see now keeping it hidden damaged your trust even more. I don't want to do that again. Simone, I don't need you to be perfect. I need you to be real with me. My self-worth isn't on trial here, but rebuilding trust means you'll have to show me with consistent honesty why this works. Self-awareness. Simone names her old story, I should have known, and then reframes it. It's his choice, not my worth. Communication shift. She speaks from self-love rather than self-blame. Repair foundation. Caleb hears not only her hurt, but her boundary. Honesty is the pathway to rebuilding. All right, let's do a short exercise together. You can turn off the podcast here or do this exercise immediately after. Don't worry, we're not going into your deepest wounds today, just a small letdown or disappointment. The purpose here is to practice how to reframe the story you tell yourself when trust is shaken, even in little moments. Step 1, choose a small betrayal. Think of a recent time when you felt let down by your partner. It could be something small. Maybe they said they'd do the dishes and didn't. Maybe they forgot to call. Maybe they canceled plans without telling you. Just one small moment. Got it? Okay, hold that in your mind. Step 2, share the old story. Partner A, I want you to share what your inner critic said about that moment. Not the facts of what happened, but the story you told yourself about you. For example, when you forgot to call, my old story said, I must not be important. Partner B, your only job is to listen. Don't interrupt, don't defend, just listen. Okay, partner A, go ahead. Now switch roles. Partner B, share your old story. Partner A, just listen. Step 3, reframe out loud. Each of you take that same moment and speak a new story, one rooted in self-love. For example, you forgetting to call reflects your distraction that day, not my worth. I am still valuable, even when you slip. Partner A, you go first. Now, partner B, your turn. Step 4, offer repair. Now, partner B, respond to partner A with ownership and a repair offer. Something like, you're right, I dropped the ball. Next time I'll set a reminder so you know you matter to me. Great. Now switch roles. Partner A, offer ownership and a repair back to partner B. This is optional, but I would recommend a reflection. Take a breath together. Now ask each other this. What did I learn about myself when I name my old story? What helps me feel safe when trust is being rebuilt? This conversation isn't about perfection. It's about practice. Every time you separate their action from your worth, you strengthen self-love. And every time you offer repair instead of defense, you strengthen the bond between you. Now that we have taken responsibility for our parts, we can begin our couple's transition. Because once you trust yourself again, then you can decide whether and how to rebuild trust with your spouse. Self-trust comes first. Because if you don't trust yourself, you'll either accept too little or expect perfection. Neither creates healing. When you've anchored in your worth, then you can approach your partner with clarity and boundaries. And know this, trust is not repaired by words alone. It's built through 3 key commitments: transparency, being open about choices, actions, and even temptations. Transparency is not about policing. It's about creating safety through openness. Consistency, following through again and again, not just once. One truthful moment doesn't heal a pattern of secrecy, but consistent honesty begins to restore safety. Accountability, taking responsibility without blame shifting. Accountability is saying, this is on me. Here's what I'll do differently. Remember, trust isn't rebuilt with promises. It's rebuilt with patterns. Here's an example dialogue between Simone and Caleb. Simone and Caleb are sitting down to talk after the financial betrayal. Notice how their exchange includes honesty, boundary setting, and repair strategy. Simone: Caleb, I feel unsafe when money surprises me. It's not just about the numbers. It's about not knowing if I can rely on you to tell me the truth. Caleb, taking accountability: You're right. Hiding the debt was my choice, and it broke your trust. I want to be transparent moving forward. Simone, boundary: What I need is predictability. If there are purchases above $50, I need to know before they happen. Surprises make me anxious. Caleb, repair plan: Okay, from now on, I'll share any purchase above $50, and let's check in twice a week on finances so you're never blindsided again. I'll put reminders in my phone to make sure we follow through. Simone, acknowledging effort: Thank you. That gives me something consistent to rely on. I'll need to see it over time, but this is a good start. Notice, instead of empty, I'll never do it again, promises, Caleb offers specific behaviors that rebuild safety. Simone offers a clear boundary without shame or attack. I want to now share a ritual for trust repair. 10-minute nightly check-in. It is a daily ritual using the SAFE model: speak, acknowledge, focus, engage. Speak. Each partner shares one truth about their day, something they're proud of, or something they struggled with. Acknowledge. The other partner validates: I hear you. That makes sense. No fixing, just presence. Focus. Each name one small priority for tomorrow. Keeps accountability alive. Engage. Close with a moment of connection, a hug, holding hands, or a word of appreciation. This nightly ritual creates micro patterns of honesty, care, and accountability, the building blocks of trust. If you're the one who was betrayed, what boundary helps you feel safer moving forward? If you're the one who broke the trust, what consistent action will you take, daily or weekly, to show you're rebuilding safety? Let's dig even deeper, because your marriage deserves it. Betrayal doesn't just hurt because of what happened in the moment. It often stirs up pain we've carried for years. When trust breaks, our nervous system goes searching for patterns. This feels like when my dad walked away. This reminds me of when my first love cheated. This is the same silence I felt as a child when no one explained what was going on. If we don't pause to notice that overlap, we end up reacting not only to the present wound, but also to decades of stored pain. Part of deeper healing is learning to ask, which part of this pain belongs to the present and which part belongs to the past? That awareness allows us to respond with more compassion and clarity instead of flooding our partner with reactions rooted in old injuries. When Caleb hid his financial stress, Simone's reaction was intense. At first, she thought it was just about the money, but in reflection, she realized something deeper. Through her journaling or just self-love conversation, Simone noticed, Caleb's silence feels exactly like my dad when I was a child. He never told us when things were wrong. I always felt like I had to guess or walk on eggshells. That made me feel unsafe as a little girl. Caleb's secrecy isn't just Caleb. It's reopening that old wound. By recognizing this overlap, Simone was able to separate Caleb's behavior from her childhood pain. Instead of collapsing together, she could say, yes, Caleb's choice hurt me now. But some of this intensity is because it echoes my father's silence. And that distinction freed her to deal with Caleb's actions in the present while also tending to her younger self's pain. At this point in our conversation, I would like to introduce the healing loop. It's a simple tool for self-healing when old wounds surface. The healing loop: awareness, release, replace, repeat. Awareness. Notice the trigger. Ask, what does this remind me of from the past? Example, this secrecy reminds me of my dad's silence. Release. Acknowledge the old wound. Maybe it's journaling, crying, or saying out loud, that was then, this is now. Example, as a child, I felt unsafe because no one explained things. That pain is real. Replace. Speak a new truth rooted in the present. Example, Caleb is not my father. He made a mistake, but he can choose honesty now. I am not powerless anymore. Repeat. Healing is not one and done. Each time the wound resurfaces, run it through the loop again. Over time, the sting lessens and clarity grows. Reflection time. Take a moment. Ask yourself, what old wound might betrayal have reopened for me? Was it a memory of childhood, a past partner, or another time when trust was broken? Breathe and notice where the pain comes from and honor that part of your story. Let's step back and review what we've uncovered today. First, betrayal shakes trust, not just in your spouse, but in yourself. The first wound is what they did, but the second wound is the story your inner critic tells you about your worth. Healing begins when you stop blaming yourself for someone else's choices. Second, healing starts with keeping promises to you. Before you can rebuild with your partner, you must rebuild self-trust. That means saying, I will not abandon myself again. I will notice my needs. I will honor my boundaries. Finally, repair with your partner happens through consistency and rituals, not words alone. Empty promises don't restore safety. What does? Transparency, predictable follow-through, daily patterns like a 10-minute check-in that remind your nervous system, I'm safe here. That's the path from self-trust to boundaries to patterns of repair. Before we close, I want to leave you with two powerful questions. Take 30 seconds after each to write them down or sit with them in silence. What small promise will I keep to myself this week? Maybe it's as simple as, I'll go for a walk 3 times, or I'll write in my journal before bed. Remember, big healing grows from small, repeated promises kept. What boundary or ritual could restore a sense of safety in my marriage? Is it a weekly check-in? Agreeing to be transparent about finances? Setting aside screen-free time together each night? Choose one boundary or ritual you can put in place this week. These 2 questions give you your next step. One promise to yourself, one boundary for your relationship. Betrayal doesn't have to be the end of your story. It can be the beginning of deeper healing. If you use it as a mirror to strengthen self-trust, clarify your boundaries, and invite your partner into consistent repair. Remember, trust isn't rebuilt in a single moment. It's rebuilt one pattern at a time. So, this week, keep one promise to yourself. Establish one ritual or boundary with your spouse, and watch how those small steps begin to restore safety, connection, and hope. Remember, self-love isn't selfish. It's the soil trust grows in. Heal here first, and you'll know whether and how to rebuild with your partner. Today, we uncovered how rebuilding trust starts with you and how to heal after betrayal. Remembering, betrayal isn't just about your partner. It breaks your trust in yourself. So, we learned how to heal inside first. But don't stop here. The next episode you'll want to watch is, Can Trust Really Be Rebuilt After Betrayal? The step-by-step repair rituals couples must use to feel safe again. And for deeper tools, visit our Simplified Uplifters app and our inspirational apparel. Check the links in the bio or visit simplifieduplifters.net. Remember, nurture your soul, protect your energy, be kind to yourself, and build the marriage of your dreams. Most importantly, you are extraordinary. Now, go to the next video and let's keep building together.